And moving on to some boxing news, Boxing South Africa has embarked on a Women in Boxing series. The main focus is to shine the spotlight on women in boxing, both inside and outside the ring. Now, the first of the series was held in Durban, where we saw all the women taking part in the tournament. But to give us a little bit more to the series, as we're still in Women's Month, joining us via Zoom is Dr. Azwi Shadrack Nthangeni. Good afternoon, and thank you for making time on Newzroom Afrika, Dr. Nthangeni.
Good afternoon, Lebo, and good afternoon to your viewers. Thank you for having me this afternoon.
All right, this is good news, a Women in Boxing series. It was successful by the looks of it, but tell us about the thoughts behind it. Why start a Women in Boxing series throughout the country?
Thank you so much, Lebo. Indeed, as an initiative of the Board of Boxing South Africa, the board felt that its subcommittee, which is called Women in Boxing, has to conceptualize this idea of introducing what we now call the Rise of Women in Boxing series, where we are going to have in total 10 series. And we have already successfully launched this program in KZN over the weekend, where we've done the launch on Wednesday, and we had the weigh-in on Friday, and then on Saturday we had a fully fledged 6 bouts, which were all female. Therefore, the thoughts behind this, the board felt that we also had to up the game as far as the women in boxing is concerned, so that we can strive to ensure that their competitions are as competitive as that of their male counterparts, and also to ensure that in terms of opportunities, we also create similar opportunities as that of their male counterpart. And the best way to start this initiative is when we are commemorating Women's Month as a country. Therefore, we feel that as Boxing South Africa, we cannot just celebrate and try our level best to empower women in boxing only for the month of August. That's why we felt that this series should take us through the entire financial year. And by doing so, we would have ensured that indeed we have ensured that the women in boxing has been elevated as one of the most important agenda, even in the Board of Boxing South Africa.
Now, how receptive are women boxers? Because I know we're not only looking at boxers, according to Boxing South Africa. This is inside and outside the ring. So you're looking at trainers, you're looking at facilitators, promoters, etc. Starting in KZN, tell me about the reception you're getting from other provinces. Are we tapping into those provinces where we don't see the female boxer rise up to the championship title? The importance of tapping into those smaller provinces that might not have a footprint of women boxing as yet.
Indeed, Lebo, the women in boxing, they have been quite receptive to this noble initiative by the Board of Boxing South Africa. And what is so formidable is that when we were in KZN, this opportunity was given to 4 female promoters, something that has never happened, where you allow the female promoters or even the male promoters to come together and stage a tournament. This was the first of its kind, where 4 female promoters came together and ensure that they deliver a resounding successful tournament in KZN. And in the main, we don't just want to empower the women in the ring, as you rightfully said. We also want to ensure that outside of the ring, they are also empowered. Therefore, we have to ensure that in terms of the financial skills for them to create wealth for themselves, so that the women who are boxers, they should be able to have life after boxing. Therefore, we'll then have to have workshops that will be able to empower them as far as wealth creation is concerned. We have to have workshops that will talk to issues of personal branding, because for corporate South Africa to come in and sponsor a female boxer as they're doing with a male boxer, they also want to look at, whether they could be a great ambassador for their product. Therefore, those are the areas that we'll be looking at. But in the main is that these series we ensure that from boxers, referees, judges, timekeepers, and all other important strategic areas, we see women who are demonstrating that as women of this country,
is it only women, Dr. Nthangeni? I'm interested in that. Is it going to be only women throughout the provinces? Because that will be really great news, because that's a year worth of women in boxing series, particularly run by women.
Yes, Lebo. This indeed is a noble initiative from the board of boxing. The mandate is very clear that in all these provinces, we had to ensure that the promoters are female. Only in provinces where we may find that there is no female promoter, that's where a male promoter might be given an opportunity. But in terms of the bill itself, all the bouts, it's about female. Because you remember that this is a government-sponsored initiative as well. Mm-hmm. The Department of Sports, Arts and Culture, under the leadership of Honorable Zizi Kodwa, and also the champion of women in boxing, the Deputy Minister, Honorable Mafu. They've been sort of championing this initiative. Therefore, we've got a base amount for all the provinces, which is coming from the National Department and awarded to provinces to say this is what you must do for women in boxing. And what we saw in KZN demonstrate confidence that this is a noble initiative which is well embraced. And we believe that by the 9th, when we move to Northwest, it's again going to be a resounding success. And the 29th, we go to Limpopo. 30th, we come to Gauteng, and other provinces will come. Therefore, we also want to clear any contradiction to say this is just a once-off event. Why is it only happening in KZN? KZN, they were just fortunate that they had to be the one who sort of kickstart this initiative.
Dr. Nthangeni, pardon me for interrupting you. We've run out of time, but before I let you go, are there still opportunities for women in boxing, regardless the area that of their speciality, to be involved in other provinces? Can they go through to women to Boxing South Africa and still get involved?
Oh, definitely. Our offices are open to ensure that we empower all women who are interested in the sport of boxing from all walks of life, because this is a national regulator and we cannot be closing doors on other provinces or other licensees who have aspiration to be part of this initiative. This is a great initiative which all of us will need to embrace.
All right, Dr. Nthangeni, thank you so much for giving us a really full view of what Boxing South Africa is doing on the ground, launching an exciting series of women in boxing, having started in KZN. And as you heard from the spokesperson of Boxing South Africa, it now moves to the Northwest Province on the 9th of September, thereafter Limpopo. But if you still want to get involved in the series that is not only focused for the month of August, do get through to Boxing South Africa and see how you at home can get involved to be part of the series.